they just opened up the link, so yeah.
What?
Ek stuur nog veel onder. Ek is net die next level die moet komen.
Kan jij mij solo wat je voor ons die?
Ja.
Dan word je dit weg. Zo dat het eigenlijk
Ja.
zo als we allemaal zien.
Ik dacht, dat is wel wat man. Ik heb net zien. Corporate update.
Anders kan niet.
1, 2, 2.
So, yeah, me volume
Kan jij die muziek net zien als we dan hebben streaming?
Wat is het dan? Is het dit? Hij gaat een kakhard
Sorry, ik weet niet of je een probleem had. Maar nee, die is
Oh, she jogu anywhere when Zulu kulu emisola menzio
ga dan met je promoten.
oh she jogu
One, two.
I'm saying that
Ik kan me niet vinden, dit is echt fucking is een post.
Is het nog wel? Ja, dat was
I'm saying that this is me. I'm giving you my love. Love, I'm saying that this is me. I'm giving you my love. Love, I'm saying this is me. Yeah. This is really me. I'm giving you my love. Love, I'm saying this is me. Yeah. This is really me. I'm giving you my love. Ooh. voices in my dreams telling me where I should go, saying over here is where I wanna be. These melodies in me, yeah, are saying this is who I am. Dingabayin donina ngaphandle kwakombino. There ain't no way to there ain't no way to show you. Oh yeah. There ain't no way to show you. Nanzo chigizinto galam kulomino. When you smile, when you dance, when you look into my eyes, nanzo chigizinto galam kulomino. Bendibuza ngabufuna ntoni na sonke oh bathi ndenzani dizihlekisa ngabantu oh naba bendibuza ngabufuna ntoni na dilapa nesindi maya oh jengabana besipi. So I'm saying this is me, so please just let it be. I'm giving you my love, I need your attention. I'm saying this is me, so please just let it be. I'm giving you my love, I need your attention. I'm saying this is me, so please just let it be. I'm giving you my, I need your attention. I'm saying this is me, yeah, please just let it be. I'm giving you my love. There ain't no way to show you, hey, show you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There ain't no way to show you. Nanzo jigizinto galam kulomino. Famba moye, famba moye, famba moye, famba moye, onita famba moye, famba moye, yeah. Famba moye, famba moye, famba moye, famba moye, famba moye. Onita famba moye, famba moye, famba moye, famba moye. Oh. yeah, yeah. I'm saying that this is me and I'm giving you my love, love. I'm saying that this is me and I'm giving you my love. Iyakhala, iyakhala, iyakhala inkomo. Iyakhala, iyakhala, iyakhala inkomo. Iyakhala, iyakhala, iyakhala inkomo. Zabu inkomo emasimini njengola amathole ecebetheka wathi umama iyakhala inkomo. Zabu inkomo emasimini njengola amathole ecebetheka wathi umama iyakhala inkomo. Ziza nomcaba zisandimijagula shukudla makhupha sihlabe mame. Khala umntwana, khala unina, khala izinja, khala inkomo kwenzenda. Zabu inkomo emasimini njengola amathole ecebetheka wathi umama iyakhala inkomo. Zabu inkomo emasimini njengola amathole ecebetheka wathi umama iyakhala inkomo. Ziza nomcaba zisandimijagula shukudla makhupha sihlabe mame. Khala umntwana, khala unina, khala izinja, khala inkomo kwenzenja.
Yes. Shall we do that? This is a nice surprise, the musical performance. Hey, this is a nice surprise, the musical performance on a Monday morning. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Where would you like me to sit? In front, probably. Okay. Haley, no. Hello, Haley.
Zabu inkomo emasimini njangula amatole ekebeteka wathi numama iyakhala inkomo Zabu inkomo emasimini njangula amathole ecebetheka wathi numama iyakhala inkomo ziza nomcaba zisani imijagula shukudla makhuphu stabe mame Kalunina, Kalizinja, Kalinkomo, Kwenzenja.
Yeah.
Where are you from? You are global.
Good morning, esteemed guests. Are we ready for takeoff? Yes. Guys, I know it's a Monday. That was really low. Really low. So we're going to try that again. I'll start, right? We're going on a journey this morning. Are we ready for takeoff? Yes. You guys are so good. Well, good morning, esteemed guests. Let me officially get this flight in gear. We are going on a journey, which means we're boarding a flight. Specifically, flight GenU SA. GenU SA. We get it, right? I am your captain, Riante Padiachi, and I will be piloting you through the official launch of Generation Unlimited in South Africa today. Can I get a round of applause? Thank you. Well, I trust everyone has boarded the flight safely this morning. I see we still have some passengers boarding. I see quite a few have snuck in some in-flight refreshments. It's allowed, it's all right. I want you to be comfortable. But before we take flight, I just have a few things to announce, right? So I'd like to ask you all to turn your devices onto airplane mode. Okay, silent mode will do. The bathrooms are down the passage to my right. In the case of an emergency, please proceed safely down the passage to my left. In-flight entertainment will be provided, so all that's left for you to do is sit back, you know the rest, relax and enjoy. Today's a really important day, and I think we all know it. It's a key part of the reason why we're having this event today, and that's because today is International Youth Day, and it is being held under the theme From Clicks to Progress, which focuses on the need to create digital pathways to enable sustainable development frameworks for our youth. So this brings us to the purpose of today's event, the launch of Generation Unlimited South Africa. So just for those of you who may not know, but I'm sure we all do, GenU is a public-private youth partnership that is on a mission to skill and connect South Africa's youth to opportunities for employment, entrepreneurship, and social impact. The life-changing work that they are undertaking with a lot of partners who are here today for the benefit of the youth is going to be guided by 4 key pillars. We got to have a vision, right? So the first being connecting every school and learner to the internet, which we all could not, impress how important that is. The second being scaling up online or remote learning, skilling and livelihood platforms by providing access to digital learning and earning pathways for young people. The third is encouraging entrepreneurship skills and opportunities. And the fourth is supporting young people as change makers. So being a public-private partnership means that bold players have stepped up to partner with GenU SA to bring the achievement of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals to life. PwC is one of these formidable partners, and I know that we are joined by many others in the room today. But I do want to just shine a small spotlight on somebody right now, and that is Matli du Plessis. She's a PwC partner who I have personally had the benefit of seeing be involved in some groundbreaking initiatives that have truly made meaningful changes in the lives of our youth. Matli, I'd like to invite you to share your important message with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Riante. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Riante, and Good morning, everybody. I must say, it is a beautiful face to see these youngsters, and you have played beautifully. Thank you so much for your entertainment. I think we can give them a round of applause. So to kick off the formal procedures, I would like to say, ladies, gentlemen, esteemed guests, friends, and leaders of the future. It is with such warm, heartfelt feelings that we invite you to join today's proceedings with us. Thank you so much for making the time to share this wonderful event with us. Today is a very special day. Not only are we celebrating Youth Day, International Youth Day, but we are also celebrating the launch of Generation Unlimited in South Africa. And that is a phenomenal achievement for our country. As you know, the world is really facing so many challenges, from climate change to digital disruption. But all of these challenges actually produce several opportunities. Opportunities to connect, to reimagine, and rethink how we can do things better. And at PwC, we are really guided by our purpose statement. And that purpose statement is to make a meaningful contribution in society and to create trust and solve important problems. And in solving those important problems, we want to create societies that thrive, enabled by technologies to create sustainable economies. And you can't do that without involving and get the contribution of the youth today. The youth brings energy, they bring enthusiasm, they bring new enlightening ideas. And therefore, the launch of Generation Unlimited is going to give wings to some of those wonderful ideas that they do have. My hope for today is to mark three things. Number one, a promise. Number two, a call to action. And number three, true to the Olympics, a flame. So a promise for our youth, our future architects and visionaries. We commit to provide and to help unlock your boundless potential. We want to help you dismantle the barriers and create a future in which you have opportunity. Together, can we envision a land, a country where no youth is left behind, and they are all presented with opportunity, skill, education, and a place to live and work. But today also marks a call to action, and that is specifically for private, public, and civil society organizations to come together, for us to invest in the education, in skills development, and the creation of opportunities for the youth of South Africa. But then lastly, I can't help to think about the Olympics. The flame is ignited at the start of the Olympics, and it's carried through the entire Olympics. And today I want to quote something that Carla Greenland wrote. She is part of our global UNICEF, she's part of our global sustainability team that drives UNICEF and other related initiatives, and she's sitting there at the back. But I thought she wrote it so beautifully that I do want to read it word for word. She said, and that's really the desire of my heart as well, today, may we light a flame fueled by purpose, resilience, and unwavering belief. This flame burns in the hearts of South Africa's youth who never refuse to give up or to accept the limitations. And I thought that was absolutely profound. Youth, youngsters, you are the change makers. You are the dreamers. You are the disruptors. South Africa needs you, and we are looking forward to see the difference that you are going to make in our country. So in closing, together, may we be the architects, all of us here, and the companies and organizations that we engage with. May we be the architects of a brighter tomorrow, and especially through wonderful initiatives like the launch of Generation Unlimited in South Africa. I hope you feel welcomed. You are most definitely and certainly very welcomed at PwC South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Martli. I think you always leave such beautiful messages for everyone, and I think we all have a role to play in keeping that flame burning, right? Not just on, just not on the flight, my flight. All right, now to our first in-flight entertainment item. We are now going to watch an insightful video called Nurturing South Africa's Youth. And in this video, you'll see it tells the uplifting story of two inspiring young people who are simply seeking to fulfill their dreams, which is so valid.
So if I were to describe myself, that's a loaded question. So I think we are created, and we are created with a purpose. It gives me, the passion to continue doing what I love the most, which is fashion designing, because fashion allows me to create. I remember when I was growing up, I was in love with how my dad pulled off an outfit. We have this phrase called kota ke kota. So this phrase is normally used by people who know how to pull off an outfit. It expresses who they are. So the South African youth, what I can say they're crying for is programs that will develop them to be entrepreneurs that can establish sustainable business. And I think that's where Generation Unlimited Mamelodi Business Hub comes in.
I think the most drastic issue that we're trying to address is unemployment, and also to give the entrepreneurship a room to think and think big. If they do have innovative ideas that can actually be turned into small businesses, then why not try it out?
But it also prepares young entrepreneurs for an entrepreneurship life, which is not quite easy. And that's what they did. Today we are sitting in this small studio that I have. It's a stepping stone for me. My story is about starting with what you have and slowly growing into the vision that you want to manifest.
When I'm out there in the field, sometimes I feel like flying was customized for me. So my brothers never believed in me in becoming a pilot because they've always thought about the statistics of women in the industry. So they were like, I need to choose another career and forget about being a pilot. So when I started with the Girls Fly program in Africa, they told me instead of doing a private pilot license, for now I can just substitute for a remote pilot license. And then a remote pilot license is where you fly a drone. It was still in the aviation industry, so I was like, why not? I'm in the security and surveillance department. I'm an observer, so I make sure everything is perfect before I take off. I make sure that my batteries are charged, my controller is charged, my radio is charged, and I catch suspects. The most exciting chase when I was still flying the railway line, because most of the people come there and they want to take cables. Ground team, I've just spotted a suspect. He's up now and he's moving. He's currently running towards the fence. Keep moving forward, you'll be able to catch him. Yeah, he's caught.
I am a different person compared to who I was last year. And you will see one of my customers when they're pulling off an outfit wearing a Republican Arc item. they're actually feeling good. They're feeling like they can take over the world.
My brothers now are kind of excited about me achieving all of this. They support me and now they can see where I'm going. I kind of feel privileged to be able to do all of these things.
I'm confident that Republican art will grow and it will employ people and it will help people express themselves confidently using fashion. Ultimately, we are using denim in a unique ways in order for us to reshape the future.
Proud of the fact that I stood up. I knew what I wanted to achieve and I've achieved some of them and I'm still looking forward to achieve more. Everything you want is on the other side of fear.
We are Generation Unlimited. Our time,
Our turn and our future.
It's one all, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Ladies and gents, I've just been next to you. Speaker, Tseho Walker. Tseho is the aimed at addressing South Africa's chronic youth unemployment challenge. Tseho, we'd love for you to share your insights on this important issue that we are all working so hard to improve. Where's the mic?
Thank you, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It really is an honor to be here at the official launch of Generation Unlimited. Just over 4 years ago, I was part of the consulting team that developed the landscape analysis and country investment agenda for GenU in South Africa. So it feels like a full circle moment for me to be standing here at the official launch of GenU, representing government to celebrate and acknowledge the work and investment in young people over the last 5 years. We welcome the renewed commitment to accelerate public-private partnerships because young people need it. The lives of young people in South Africa are marked by significant challenges across multiple dimensions of deprivation. These challenges are well known, and I don't need to mention them, but they're both individual and structural, and collectively they make young people in our country particularly vulnerable. Of particular concern is that every year, 1 million young people leave the education system and enter the labor market. 1 million. Within 3 months, 1/3 of these young people are able to progress to further education and training, find employment, or start a business that can sustain their livelihoods. 1/3. That means that every year, 2/3 of the 1 million young people that enter the labor market every year are classified as not in education, employment, and training. They're locked out of the economy and are at risk of longer-term economic and social exclusion. These are not just numbers. These are talented, ambitious young people full of potential, who are hungry for opportunities to thrive and contribute to society. Youth unemployment is not just an economic issue, it's a societal crisis that impacts the very fabric of our nation. The Presidential Youth Employment Intervention was established by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa in 2020 to address the youth unemployment crisis. And because of the urgency of the crisis, the fragmentation in the youth development ecosystem, and the structural nature of the barriers to youth unemployment, The President determined the need to actively drive and coordinate this intervention from the Presidency. The PYEI implements 4 components across 5 priority growth sectors that aim to increase alignment across and beyond government and innovate in ways that accelerate delivery and catalyze further actions. Since its inception, the PYI has been a catalyst for change. Even in an economy that isn't creating the number of jobs required to absorb young people who enter the labor market, the PYI has created pathways for young people to access job opportunities, skills development, and entrepreneurial support. To date, over 1.4 million opportunities have been accessed by young people. And a significant achievement of the PYI is that the vast majority of these opportunities have been accessed by the most excluded youth, including young women, those from poorer resourced quintile 1 to 3 schools, and those who come from a household that receives a social grant. These achievements are a result of coordinated action from PYI partners, many of whom are here today, and including UNICEF and UNDP, who participate in the PYI's Development Partner Forum in their capacity as representatives of GenU. These are significant strides, but we must acknowledge that there's more work to be done. Our mission is far from complete, and we need to scale our efforts to reach every young person in need. It's for this reason that we're excited about the launch of GenU in South Africa. By strengthening the partnership between the PYEI and GenU, a more robust and integrated support system for youth employment and youth development can be created. GenU's focus on digital skills, education, and employment aligns with the work of the PYEI, the needs of young people, and the nation's goals more broadly. But for initiatives and interventions like GenU and like the PYI to succeed, we need the collective action and support of partners in this room. Government and its agencies, private sector organizations, civil society organizations, and international donors all have a role in strengthening the support for the cause of young people in South Africa. It really is only through collaboration that we can create sustainable and scalable solutions. So I call upon each of you today, I echo your call to action, to support both the PYI and to support GenU, and know that in that support you are supporting young people. It is an economic imperative, not just a moral obligation, to invest in young people in South Africa. A thriving youth population in this country translates to a prosperous nation. So I invite you to partner with us and work together in supporting and continuing the investment of Youth SA. Thank you.
So beautifully put, Tseho. I think my key takeaway, which may be a takeaway for most of you, would be collaboration, right? And it speaks to so many things that we all do and all the initiatives that we're trying to advocate for. We can't do it alone. Just like most things, if you take it down to the most personal, in your home, you can't always do things alone. In your place of work, you can't always do things alone. And just like solving this really important problem where two-thirds of our youth, that's a massive, massive number. Well, thank you, Tseho. We're now going to enjoy our second short screening. It's a video of some very inspiring Enviro champs. They are young people who are trained as citizen scientists, believe it or not, and what they do is gather and analyze and report their findings to formulate solutions. I think what I love about this is that their work helps to create a healthier environment today, and it builds the knowledge and skills that we're going to need for tomorrow. The best part is that they incentivize other young people in the process.
amanzi okuqala ayimpilo. Okwesibili angeke wenze lutho ngaphandle kwamanzi. So ngaso sonke isikhathi kufanele wazi indawo ohlala kuyona ukuthi inamanzi angakanani, inohlobo olunjani lamanzi and are-useful kangakanani nakuphi. Into ebesizoyenza la into ebizwa nge-mini-cess. I-mini-cess yenzelwani? I-mini-cess yenzelwa ukuthi sibheke iquality yamanzi esinawo emphakathini ukuthi injani. Okokuqala senza into ekuthiwa i-clarity tube. Sifaka amanzi kwi-tube esibheka amanzi ukuthi a-visible, a-clean kangakanani lawo manzi. Okunye kwako sibheke ukuthi phakathi emanzini kuhlezi hlobo luni lwezilwane.
Bugs and beetles. Very good. This is a
So uma ngabe lamanzi enezilwane phakathi kusho kona ukuthi ziyakwazi ukuphila anempilo phakathi. Kodwa ukutheni angayuzwa abantu kuzoba neprocess ethize kufanele iqale ilungiswe noma yenziwe ukuze abantu bagcine bekwazi ukuthi nabo bawazi ukuwasebenzisa.
You just cannot deny how inspiring young people are. My goodness. Now, when you go about devising new and innovative solutions to ensure the success of our youth, we must not forget the pivotal role they play. Youth engagement and contribution is essential to this process as young people bring new vitality, inventive ideas, and fresh perspectives to every situation. And I'm not saying it because I'm a youth, I'm just saying it because it's quite true. So earlier this morning, a cohort of youth gathered to engage in some meaningful discussions, and there, they shared ideas around youth upliftment and co-created solutions to some very critical topics that focus on the 4 pillars of GenU. Just to recap, those 4 pillars are digital connectivity, entrepreneurship skills, youth engagement, and very importantly, education. These are the ideas that will shape and anchor the future of South Africa. And bringing a voice to these, I believe, is at the heart and the purpose of Generation Unlimited. So over to you, our youth leads. Hello.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see everyone here. I'm Nompumelelo Mashaba. I'm here from the UNDP. I also represent the youth.
Hello. I am Chioma Nzelu. I am from UNICEF VITS, and I'm here representing the youth. So within the Youth Cafe, a pillar that I focused on with a lot of the Generation Unlimited volunteers was online learning. And obviously one of the main critical issues within online learning was accessibility and awareness. And we spoke about how teaching computer literacy and digital literacy was a big thing. So a lot of people don't know how to use online resources and how to access online learning resources. And we spoke about how we could speak to community centers and community leaders and youth leaders in order to foster greater understanding of digital literacy. And we spoke about finding out what people actually need on the ground. Because it's one thing to go into communities and try to create change, but without knowing what people actually need within these communities, it's very difficult. So we need to speak to community leaders, speak to youth leaders and people that are making changes within their communities and that people look up to know, do people need devices to access online learning? Do people know how to use digital devices? And to speak about basically the resources that are available. We spoke about also creating deliberate awareness of online resources. So it's one thing for people to have digital connectivity and to have devices, but a lot of people don't know the online resources that are out there for them to use. Yeah. And if we can be ambassadors for online learning and create digital awareness, then people can understand the benefits of online learning. Obviously, connectivity and data access is a big issue within South Africa, particularly in marginalized and lower income communities. And we think that something greater can be done in order to sort of address those issues. That can be through creating mobile clinics within communities where we come in, install fiber, install Wi-Fi, delegate and sort of give data access to mobile clinics where we are teaching people how to engage with online resources and how to use internet access. And that's basically what we spoke about and trying to address the issues that come with online learning as the youth. And many of the commitments that we made as Generation Unlimited youth participants was volunteering. So actually going into these communities and teaching digital literacy, not only to adolescents, because when a lot of students and learners come into the university space, they feel very left behind because there's a lot of things they don't know, but also teaching digital literacy and computer literacy to educators within these communities, within these schools and in local schools, lower income areas, teaching them to community leaders to try sort of get people engaged. And also building digital hubs for access, but with building digital hubs, touching on what I said previously, getting the community involved so that the community has a sense of ownership over these digital hubs, a sense of pride over these digital hubs. Also to curb crime, where a lot of devices within digital hubs are stolen or facilities are vandalized. And if we get community participants involved, then we can foster a sense of pride, where people feel the need to protect these resources within their communities. We also spoke about being intentional about creating awareness, so sharing resources, whether it's in small or big ways, whether it's with conversing with individuals within these communities about online learning resources, if it's through advocacy, posting on social media, having campaigns within these areas and in the greater community at large, and sharing stories of the impact of online learning. So us as individuals who are digitally literate and know the benefits of online learning and are sort of products of online learning and online resources, being a manifestation of that work and being ambassadors of that work and standing up and saying, this is what online learning and online resources have done for me. Yeah. And sort of getting people involved through that way and sort of creating an incentive for individuals to join. And we spoke about tailor-making courses and curriculums for people to work. So looking at the skills that are lacking within the job market and tailor-making courses and skills through partnering with university or college institutions and organizations in order to build skills within individuals and increase the employability of the youth. Thank you very much. I hope I summarized everyone's points well.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am Gauretelelwe Masego, and the focus I was given was digital connectivity. So as previously mentioned, one of the biggest issues that we have is the digital divide, but not just in bridging the gap in technological access or the access to computers and technological devices, but being able to be taught how to use these things in all official languages of South Africa. We need to be able to address how expensive data is and what can be done to mitigate the expenses, what we need to do in mitigating those expenses to make sure that people can make it in the townships, people can make it in the rural areas, and not everyone has to move to the city in order to make a living for themselves and their families. We spoke on data assistance, making it easy for people to access data, to attend the events such as these, where they can upskill themselves and learn how it is that they will be able to integrate themselves into the modern labor market and adapt for the fifth industrial revolution. Another thing we spoke about is improving rather, the access of infrastructure outside the suburbs, because a lot of it tends to be lacking or damaged or having been vandalized or stolen in the townships. And if we can increase access, what we're going to do is allow people to find a use for it outside for having to steal and sell it. With this, they can upskill themselves, they can learn skills, they can become better, they can have education from their homes, and that will not only help their communities, but that will help our GDP specifically, because we'd be investing in our own communities rather than investing on having to import skills all the time. We spoke on upskilling the lower level in our current employment sector, because they are the biggest of our workforce. So we need to be able to not only give them qualifications to graduate and say we've got a qualification, but we need them to be employable. We need them to be taught computer skills within their courses, no matter what NQF level that may be. We need to look at how we can teach people to be ready for the fifth industrial revolution and use the tools such as AI to our advantage rather than to be scared of it. How can we embrace it? How can we use it? How can we improve from it? And what can we do to make things such as AI more accessible? What can we do to make things such as internet connection, public resources? How can we use those things that people currently see as dangers as, again, investments in our economies, investments in our GDP? We need to be able to balance all of these things out with literacy. People need to know that these things aren't just threats, they're opportunities. We need people to know their digital safety measures. We need people to know about cybersecurity. People need to be able to know how to protect themselves. We need skills development at all levels, skills development at primary, high school, and tertiary levels. People need to be able to have qualifications that will find them not just employment, but business growth opportunities. Another thing we can do is look into the free training platforms that we have. Industry leaders could perhaps sponsor these things so that not everyone who can afford to go to university cannot have access to what was I saying? Cannot have access to a qualification and therefore employment. We need to look into perhaps redirecting CSI in the industry and how companies can look into admitting their entry-level employments into the communities, into the mobile clinics, into teaching centers, and teaching the youth that these are the skills that you can learn, this is what you can do with your qualifications, and perhaps inspire the youth to say, this is what I have, this is what you can do, and this is how you get into it. Thank you so much.
Once again, greetings. My name is Langalihle Ntuli. I am from UNICEF at Wits University. And under the Generation Unlimited, what we were given was the lack of entrepreneurship skills in South Africa. So what we chose to focus on is how we're going to address this issue. We first spoke about how we are going to address this issue from the ground root level, because we find it useless for us to only focus on the lack of skills at the university level or at the youth level without addressing it from the start. So we are aiming to advocate for these skills to be included in the educational curriculum of South Africa, which is from the intermediate phase, where subjects such as EMS are introduced to high school and university. And we thought this is going to foster for the development of new ideas, because currently in South Africa, we do have existing forms of entrepreneurship, but we believe that the collaboration between these ideas, we can identify new gaps that need to be improved instead of each and every person in this country as an entrepreneur discovering something that is related to what is already existing, which causes saturation in the market. So what we also chose is we're advocating for the accessibility of these skills. This can be done through incubation hubs, which are platforms for accessibility. This can be through online learning, because currently South Africa is in I would like to term it the digital age. And these skills development are not only vital for urban communities, but also for marginalized areas in South Africa, of which are the rural areas and the townships. We believe that it is important for this lack of skills to be addressed through campaigns, which can be advocacy for the locals. And another important factor that we touched on was the policy making. Currently, policies that we have in South Africa, not many people from marginalized areas know about these policies. The policies may be passed, but the people do not know. So introducing these skills to the communities, that will help in promoting knowledge and education about these policies. And another factor we touched on was how we should address this lack of entrepreneurial skills into the informal sector only. Not only is entrepreneurship about the formal sector, but the informal sector should also be catered for, because this is the form of the biggest sectors in South African entrepreneurship. And thank you.
Once again, I'm Nompumelelo Mashaba. I'm from the UNDP. Our area of focus was looking into youth engagement. How do we enhance youth engagement in South Africa, especially within marginalized communities? We were looking into initiative and programs. What we realized while we're discussing is that the majority of the youth are involved within programs, initiatives that are happening within their communities, but also there's a lack of funding and there's a lack of support from the government or the public or private sector into dealing with those issues that they're currently facing. We also talked about volunteer opportunities. We were looking into exposing high school students from high school years to universities to be able to volunteer for opportunities and to be able to get that exposure, whether it's career opportunities or it's job opportunities. We were looking into making sure that the government and also the public and the private sector is able to collaborate with the youth-led organizations. It's easy, it's very relatable when organizations are led by the youth, which means that it becomes easier for everyone to relate with each other. It becomes easier to discuss the issue that we're currently facing as the youth. And also we said we need to be able to identify gaps within communities, how do we solve the problems that we're currently facing and how does the government solve those problems. Accessibility and also fighting systematic inequality. I think South Africa is one of the most unequal country. In order for us to solve those issues, we need to be able to identify and be able to work together to make sure that those systematic issues are dealt with and everyone is not left behind. So I think one of our key area of focus is making sure that no one is left behind in our youth engagements. The solutions that we were focusing on is making sure that there's more funding for small businesses within communities, especially within the youth. The youth needs to be able to have access to funding that makes sure that drives entrepreneurship skills and which translates into more employment. Community development. I think community development, especially within outside of universities, we need to be able to look into the youth that is not within universities, whether it's matric or job arts. We need to be able to identify what the issue is and how can that youth also participate and that youth also improves or enhances their lives. Increase youth exposure. We're looking into making sure that accessibility to information, accessibility to opportunities, and accessibility to making sure that everyone knows or has adequate information. It's whether with marginalized communities or within suburbs, but making sure that everyone knows what they has that information that they need to be able to continue or to make informed decisions in the future. One of our biggest commitment was teaching people in the language that they understand. I think that when we when we spread knowledge, it becomes very easy when we're spreading it in a language that people understand. When we are enhancing our communities, we need to be able to make sure that whatever that we're saying to them, they clearly understand it, especially within our own languages. We need to be increasing involvement with the youth community organizations. As the youth, we need to be able to be more engaged when it comes to community organizations that already exist within our communities, but also within global communities that actually help our community to solve the problems that we have. And also we're saying we need to be able to ask questions, and we need to be able to listen. If we're in a position of power, we need to be able to ask questions and listen to what the youth actually needs and what the youth is currently facing in order for us to be able to deal with the current socioeconomic issues that the youth is facing. Thank you.
Oh, can we get another round of applause for them? That was brilliant. Thank you very much. You can make your way down if you're happy. I think the Youth Cafe was a brilliant thing to host this morning. Clearly, it was definitely not a waste of time. And I think what's so important is, as we can see, the takeaways from them is we can't be creating solutions without their input, because that was fantastic. Thank you and well done. So as a professional storyteller, pilot for today's session, I believe that stories are a powerful way to connect with each other, engage, and understand complex issues or matters around us. Your third item for in-flight entertainment today is the incredible story of Megan. Megan discovered her love and talent for art at a very young age, and today she's turning her artistic dream into a business venture with support from youth coaches, very important, youth coaches, as a participant of the basic package of support program. This program provides holistic services to youth to improve their overall well-being and, very importantly, employability.
The dunes means a lot to me, because if I feel overwhelmed by some thoughts, I would go take a walk on the dunes and just sit and meditate or breathe. Where does my journey start? I'm from Marbury originally, but I moved to Atlantis. I was always kept indoors. Atlantis is seen as, gangsterism, it's unsafe, and I couldn't handle that pressure because it's like it wasn't meant for me. When I joined the BBS, my first session was like, I didn't know if I could trust my coach, because I don't know this person, because I was scared to make changes in my life. But I still had my creativity inside of me. I got the message that I knew I had to expand myself and gain more knowledge and experience around me. So the BBS has taught me to open up and become more confident. And ever since then, my life transformed. Not just my life, but my way of thinking towards life changed. So when it comes to my art, I don't just see art itself. It was more like a coping mechanism for me. My customers, they like the colorfulness, like how it stands and how unique it is. For me, color means the universe. Be your colorful self and remember that you have to be free.
All right, ladies and gents, we've reached a pivotal point in this morning's program. I'm also kind of tired of just, soloing it. So we're going to put a couple of key people in the room, in the hot seat, for what I'm sure is going to be a robust panel discussion. Up first, if you'll join me, is Nadi Albino, UNICEF's Deputy Director of Partnerships and Innovation. So while Nadi makes her way up, I'll just let you know that she is a very distinguished professional in the international development sector, and she brings with her over 25 years of rich experience in her work. Wow. Her impressive career has seen her specialize in the areas of education, youth and early childhood development, policy development and analysis, and broader social sector initiatives. Welcome, Nadi. Nadi flew in from New York, just FYI, yesterday. And this morning I said, yesterday, I hope the jet lag isn't getting to you. She had the most epic, almost like a mic drop response, and she says, Riante, I don't do jet lag. Kaylee Mycroft, will you please join us as well? We'll just need some assistance for Kaylee, please. Kaylee is a very inspiring activist. She lives with cerebral palsy, and she has not only released a very inspiring book about her life, but has also been a recipient of the International Children's Peace Prize. Today, she is on our panel. As the Global Leadership Council member from Generation Unlimited. Welcome, Kaylee. A round of applause, please. We then have Dion Shango, our PwC Africa CEO. Dion, while you make your way up, Dion has spent more than 2 decades in the auditing and professional services profession. He has led PwC at both a regional and territory level for almost a decade. I don't know if that's giving your age away, Dion. Okay, in that time, he's also advocated for equality in the workplace. And he has always, I must mention this, he has always gotten intentionally involved in programs that invest in and uplift our country's youth. Thanks for joining the panel, Dion. And lastly, I would like to ask Nelson Mufu to join us. He is the United Nations Resident Coordinator in South Africa. A round of applause, please. Nelson has more than 2 decades of experience in international relations and negotiations and politics and development issues at the United Nations headquarters, regional and country levels, and along with a string of other very notable accomplishments, Nelson. I do love that you were instrumental in the UN's comprehensive response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, panelists, thank you so much for joining all of us this morning. We're going to get into a little bit of a discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on various things, as well as in the roles you play here today. And Nadi, seeing that you're closest to me and in the prettiest color on the panel, I'm going to start with you, right? So, perhaps you could start by setting the scene for us. Tell us a little bit more about GenU's current priorities at a global level and how these efforts or initiatives are going to support those that GenU plans to carry out here in South Africa.
Thank you very much. First of all, exciting to be here with everybody. South Africa is very dear to my heart. I worked here for 10 years. Lived here for 10 years. It's the longest place I've ever lived in my entire life. So it feels like home every time I come here. Generation Unlimited globally, what are our priorities, etc. I think firstly, I would like to say that Generation Unlimited was created because of a lot of the things that were talked about here today, the lack of opportunities for young people, etc. And so much understanding of how much talent exists out there with young people. So we believe in GenU that every young person has talent, and that bringing together of these partnerships is really to help connect that talent to opportunities. So talent is universal, opportunities are not. So how do we democratize opportunities? So GenU really created to bring together the private sector, the public sector, young people themselves, academic institutions, civil society organizations, so that we figure out together with the young people what those challenges are, what kind of solutions can we bring to bear to really help to guide young people across that bridge to opportunities. We sitting today already in the fifth industrial revolution, and I think by and large when we sit in our offices or different places, we still think that we're in the fourth industrial revolution. AI is taking us at a speed that is unimaginable. But most importantly is about human beings being at the center and taking this forward. And who best than the young people? So most often when we speak, we say, we're preparing the leaders for tomorrow. No, they're leaders today. Yeah. They're here, they're now. Tomorrow is going to be a completely different space that none of us can predict. But we have to prepare them here and now with the skills that exist and in preparation for the unknown. And what are those kind of skills and competencies that are required so that we can meet those challenges that come towards us. So our biggest priority areas are the just transition. We're looking at the digital space and the green space. I think those are the two biggest areas that are impacting humanity today. And when we listen to young people and we see what they do, how intentful they are, how purposeful they are, those are the two key areas that drive them. That the planet is going to be safe for us to live in, that it's sustainable, etc., and that using technology to better ourselves, the lives for young people and the lives for us older folks. So the just transition is where our focus and priority lies. Now, lastly, what would we do for South Africa? I don't think we can do anything for South Africa. We can do with South Africa. Your amazing entertainment for the flight has shown us the potential that exists already in the country. And you know, it's just as far as your imagination can take you, what young people can do in the country, from entrepreneurship opportunities, from understanding what the employment sector can offer. And I think when I was here last, we were speaking with Katsuri at Harambee, and we were looking at what are the potential for creating employment in South Africa. And we realized that there hasn't been enough analysis done to look at which are the sectors that would actually create most employment. And bringing together these different partnerships into one single platform is really so that we can cover all the bases. But most importantly, and I always repeat that, with young people at the center, with us working together with them, listening to what they have to tell us, and then crafting those solutions together. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds like a brilliant formula for setting a successful path, is putting young people at the center. And earlier you said it and I loved it, and you said listening to young people. So there's that willingness from leaders, and I think that's brilliant. Just casting it then to our youth, Kaylee, bringing you into the conversation, what would you say it takes for leaders and GenU partners, especially a lot of those who are actually here in the room with us today? What would you say it takes to sustain the engagement of young people, but in a meaningful way?
Cool. Hi. So I think, first of all, I need to contextualize myself a little bit. So I am a identity-first disabled person. I've lived my life as a disabled person, and that is my perspective. And I think in answering this question, I want to focus on something that we don't really talk about, is disability. Hey! I think that the big issue is that I'm an activist inherently because I exist in spaces where I'm generally not always super welcome. People are often like, ooh, she's disabled. I know. It's okay. Clearly there's a situation going on here. It's okay. I think that that's a big issue in how we address, how we support and sustain the empowerment of disabled people, disabled young people. It's initially like actually recognizing and acknowledging that we have a scenario that's different, you know. And I think I'm a loud, proud, bold, disabled person. Not all of us are like that. Not all of us have disabilities that are visible. Not all of us have been taught and encouraged to own that part of our identity.
Yeah.
And in my activism and through the work that we do at the Katie campaign, it's really about creating spaces where we can be our full selves and as disabled as we are and still supported. So I think it's really about asking questions, right? Like, if we're having conversations and we have spent 45 minutes speaking about something and we haven't mentioned disability, what are we doing? We're 15% of the population. Are we even including disabled people in the statistics that we're understanding or unpacking? I'm going to throw out some questions just to be a little bit activisty now and challenging just by existing. And obviously you don't have to like put your hand up because that's a bit hectic, but like, how many people here work at a company that employs disabled people? That's more than I was expecting, but good job. Like how many companies create safe spaces for disabled people to actually be like, hey, so I kind of need this, without it being like, disabled people are so much work. We are. We know. I think that's the reality of the situation, is that I'm a lifelong disabled person. I'm used to it. We have to make space for, this is kind of, we're not all on the same page with this in the disabled community, but I think we need to make more space for ignorance as people who are kind of leading processes. And it's okay that you don't know what you're doing. We kind of know what we're doing, but everything's a learning experience.
Yeah.
So, and every disability is different. So I think there's so much nuance in disability, but it's often used as a reason to not include people, and a reason to say like, oh, but there's too much work in creating that process. And I think we need to also start before employment and recognize that disabled people are actually, we're not given equitable opportunities. A lot of disabled people start their educational journey like decades after everybody else. And we're expecting them then to function in the same way in the job market. But we also need to recognize that disabled people and the people around us, because the disability community is not just both of disabled people, it's everybody who supports us in thriving as well, is that there's inherent innovation. And like, I'm so good at solving problems, it's not funny. like, I have solved 12 problems today that haven't even occurred yet. because I enter a room expecting it to not be welcoming to me.
Yeah.
So I come in with a solution so that I don't have to be a problem to you. Right? Which now, like, there's like a bit of a pity in the room. But no, we need to work with the psyche of disabled people, understand it better, make more space for it, make it a positive thing, because phenomenal things come out of the disabled community. They're just not given credit as coming from the disabled community. And it's random things, like the cool things that make your eggs round, that came from disabled people.
Oh, wow.
Because they needed to make eggs. Like, the innovation is everywhere, but we need to embrace it, we need to support it, and we need to invest in it. Because disability is expensive. So in order to create an equitable, not equal, because we don't need the same stuff.
Yeah.
We need an equitable space. We need people to invest in supporting disability so that we can all work towards being in the same spaces.
Yes.
And occupying them boldly and unapologetically.
I mean, I think I've learned more in these 5 minutes of you speaking than I have in like the last 2 weeks. I think what I love about what you've just said is, look, I firstly have learned so much, and that means we probably all have, which is why these types of events and platforms or forums or dialogues, when they're as inclusive as this, they are so much, or can be so much more productive, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Dion, bringing you into the conversation. With PwC having made a remarkable impact in the societies in which it operates through various initiatives, many of which have been with the UN, can you unpack some examples of what the firm has already done as a private sector player, for example, as well as what are you pledging today that goes beyond business as usual?
Yeah. No, Rianta, thank you. And just welcome everyone. Let me add my voice to what Marteli said earlier in welcoming everyone to our office. Nari, thank you for agreeing to have this launch here at our home. And let me just say, before answering your question, I've done many functions in here. Please can we start each function with a band? Well done, guys. You're fantastic. So we've done so much as an organization. I even brought my iPad, as a list of everything I need to remember. But probably the more important question for me, Rianta, is what more can we do going forward, right? In addition to what we've already done, such as touching the 30,000 odd young minds whom we have through working with UNICEF in our collaboration and partnership with them. There's initiatives such as the Techno Girl Trust about really investing in girl children who want to enroll for studies in the STEM group of subjects and careers. The Capacitate organization that we've worked with as well. From all of this, I'm sure you can hear that a lot of what we do is really based on collaboration. And so being involved with GenU and the important work that we do is yet another example of how we feel as a brand that is really passionate about building trust and solving important problems, we have a role to play. We speak quite passionately about that role and how we need to contribute positively towards the growth and development of the African continent. Yeah. And so if we don't show up in the right way to work with our partners, our collaboration partners in this way, then we simply won't stay true to our purpose or our purpose statement. You've got to understand that PwC as a brand in various forms has been around for 175 years this year. And we'd really like to still be around for the next 175 years. But in order for us to do that, I think our sustainability and continued existence as an organization has to be premised on partnership and collaboration. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that recognition, we have this saying as PwC that we are only half the story. And investing in youth and youth development is yet another example of why we need to show up together with our collaboration partners in order to ensure the continued existence and sustainability of our firm. So what I'm saying in a long-winded way is that this work is good for business, but it's important for us to do the right thing because that's what our brand stands for. And so I look forward to navigating future challenges and opportunities on this path of investing in our future, i.e. In the youth, and doing so, as Nadi so well put it, today, because today is the future, not some point next week or 6 months from now. Today is the future is right here and now with us, and that's what we need to do more as PwC.
Absolutely, thank you, Dion. Nelson, we didn't forget you. Can you weigh in on what is the UN's vision for young people in South Africa? I've got a bit of a double-headed question for you. Mm-hmm. So firstly, the UN's vision for people young people in South Africa, as well as what measures or frameworks would you say are already in place that we can build on or leverage off to sustain these important platforms and the momentum we've already gained with supporting our youth? Because some really fantastic work's already being done. So how can we build off that, leverage off that?
No, thank you for that. I think you kept the most difficult question for me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I really want to thank, first of all, our hosts for agreeing to be here with us, and the amazing young people who I see in the room, not least the band, but most importantly as well, the feedback session that we went through. It tells you about the potential that we need to accompany and leverage, right? There is this saying that youth are the leaders of tomorrow. I think they're the leaders of today, right? And it's really important, and that's the vision we have. It is about really tapping into the creativity, dynamism, and potential young people have in a world that is very divided and increasingly polarized, a world of haves and have-nots, a world of disparities, those who are able and those who are living with disabilities, those who have wealth and those who do not have wealth. There's poverty and disparities in education, food systems, energies, digital connectivity, access to financing, governance, and power and participation. So it's about course-correcting all of that. And one thing that we have as that vision is the Sustainable Development Goals. It brings together solutions to complex problems that the world is facing. And as the Secretary General, who actually is a champion of Generation Unlimited, has said, we need a paradigm shift if we're to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And that paradigm shift involves putting young people at the center of interventions. It is about the UN recognizing this and not speaking for young people, but working with young people. And as Nadi said, listening to young people and letting them lead. And it takes collaborations, and your point as well, Dion. Everyone has to play their part to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. We talk about the whole of society, a whole of economy intervention, young people playing their part, business playing its part, government certainly also playing its part, and the UN supporting all of that with international partners and others also coming into the I would say, the cohort of people who need to act on this. And it takes innovation. And the theme for this year's Youth Day is really about digital pathways and collaborating on that. And digital connectivity, as we heard, as one of the pillars of GenU, is very essential. And it also is also about the just transition. So I like what Lati said. The two things really also came to my mind as very important for what we're trying to achieve. Just transitions across multiple sectors, not least the energy sector. Digital transformation, but all of this really not with regards to reducing emissions or advancing the best technologies for the sake of advancing technology, but really with humans.
Yes, at the core.
Human well-being at the center. It's really important. How does technology, innovation, the transition also foster social cohesion? Collaborating with each other for the well-being of people and planet. Very important that we also need to look at that. And the Summit of the Future, which we have in September, a few weeks from now, presents an opportunity to also reinforce multilateral cooperation around these existential issues that we're facing and to put young people at the center of intervention. That's why one of the outcomes is going to be a Pact for Future Generations. That's why one of the chapters of the Pact for the Future, which is the outcome from the Summit of the Future, is also going to be focusing on working and empowering young people and future generations. But also one of the outcomes from the Summit of the Future is going to be a global digital compact. So it tells you that everything that we're discussing here is being thought through at the global level as well, because as the Secretary General also said, we cannot use systems and approaches that were leveraged by our grandparents to plan for our grandchildren.
Exactly.
So we are in this space now to try to course correct that. And by everyone coming together, with young people at the center, this Amagenge generation, which is, I think, I hope I'm pronouncing it the right way, we will make the difference that we need to make for people and planet. Beyond the suburbs, into the townships, into the rural spaces, but certainly beyond South Africa. Because South Africa has a responsibility. South African stakeholders and its business leaders as well have a responsibility to help to shape humanity, shape Africa, shape the world. And so we have the UN, you can count on the UN family. I mean, Generation Unlimited as a platform, I would say is relevant for UNDP, ILO, UNFPA, UNAIDS, the resident coordinator and the office I lead, and UNIDO, the World Bank that is part of the UN system. Everyone has a role to play, and everyone is committed, because we also realize that we have increasingly, and will have into the future, the largest cohort of young people that need to lead, that need to be allowed and empowered to lead.
Africa, that is.
Africa, South Africa certainly as well. So we need to play our part in accompanying that shift and that leadership drive. So you can count on the UN family to keep on being ready, to collaborate, but most importantly, to be led by young people and to be aware of all the disparities that we need to seek to address going forward. So that's what I can say.
Well, we'll take that as your pledge. You can count on the UN family. Nelson's words. Well, brilliant. I think we've heard some powerful messages and pledges this morning. So commitments from our panelists. And to ensure that this today isn't a once-off session, I'd like to briefly open the floor to all of you, our guests, to know how will you support your organizations, Generation Unlimited, our country's youth, in making all of these initiatives a success? Any pledges? Any messages of support? Could I have a mic, please, here?
I can see you at UNESCO.
Second round.
UNFPA. Hello.
To pledge, yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dikeledi Moreno. Oh, okay. My name is Dikeledi. I am from Mamelodi Business Hub, University of Pretoria. I run an organization there. I work with schools and students from disadvantaged communities, mainly in Mamelodi. but also we're building a world-class organization that will be a catalyst for change to the youth across Africa. We've launched in Nigeria, we've launched in Swaziland, we've launched in Lesotho, and we're looking into partnering with other countries as well, so that we can just promote the unity that we need in Africa. But also, we are advocating for SDG 4, SDG 17, and SDG 1. Very close to my heart is SDG 4, quality education. We are on the ground. I've worked with more than 9,000 students that we take from disadvantaged schools, and we empower, especially a girl child. There's a gap between a boy child who's graduating and a girl child who's caught up by their teenage pregnancy and all these things that happen to them, so that we empower them to focus on their studies and run and graduate, because we gave birth to these guys who can lead them, And also, I just took 300 learners from Mamelodi to the parliament, so they can feel that it's possible to be in parliament and dream of being a president. Not only dream of being an HR or business management, or I want to be a lawyer, or I'm studying LLB, and they feel like all those are, they can dream. It's possible for you to dream of becoming president, a minister, So that's what I do. And I would like to thank Mamelodi Business Hub, especially Debbie right here. Very, 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 a young woman on the ground who hits the ground running. She works very hard, and she's my support system. Unfortunately, she's the only support system that I've got. So I'd like to ask the house to partner with us and help us harness. We have a lot of young people. I cry every day, David knows, because there's a lot of young people that I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough access to a lot of things. And I'll be there and I'm like, okay, and then they'll call me, when are you going to school? And we also do sanitary towels, we do 23 bags, we do poverty alleviation as well. We do youth empowerment programs through our programs that we host. We do career guidance as well, very important. We partner with universities so they can educate them about other careers in mining, in the careers that are not famous or not known, well known, promoted. We expose them as much as as much as we can, but we are lacking. I've been trying to get hold of the United Nations South Africa for the SDG, and with no avail. I even went, to an extent that I created my own board of the SDGs, online by the AI, and Uncle ChatGPT to try and create resources so that I can show them these are the SDGs. And I'll gladly say I was able to even give them certificates of the to show that they completed the 17 goals, and I've educated them, they know what they are, and they must choose one, the one that they love or they connect with and run with it on the ground. And they receive their certificates, they're so happy, they're working hard, but we need more help, we need more partners. I can't do it alone. There's no school, there's no organization, there's no government that can operate in isolation. We all need to put in collaborative effort and put this and work and build the South Africa that we want and we dream of. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got a couple hands here.
Yeah.
I think we had one at the back first, if you don't mind.
Good morning, everyone. I come from an organization called Africa Tikun, where we do the empowerment of the child through our cradle to career models. So we cater for the child holistically from ECD stage all the way up to the age of 35. So I've been listening to you. We've got 9 centers across the country, and we've got many outreach programs that we provide. So I would like to have a conversation after this session. Let's see maybe if we can fit you into our outreach program and we can partner, because we've just set up another center in Marikana through a partnership with Sibani. So please get in touch with me.
Fantastic. Can we get the mic hopping to that? Oh, you've got one there. Okay, there, and then please go.
Morning, everyone. My name's Lauren. I'm from the University of Johannesburg, and I wear 2 hats today. One is in my role as the director of the Centre for Social Development in Africa at the University of Johannesburg, so representing academia, and one is as one of the co-founders of the Basic Package of Support, which you saw on the video. And I think just to pledge from both of those hats, that academia can often seem to be quite removed from real life society, that we're doing research that sits in journals and doesn't really benefit society. And I just want to say that both myself and Ariane, who's sitting next to me, come from units, and Ariane's from the University of Cape Town, Saldru. Both of our units are really committed to applied research, so research that listens to the voices of people on the ground, takes that information into designing interventions and policy solutions, and working in partnership with a broad range of partners to make those things happen. So really committed to bringing evidence to inform program and policy. And I think we've followed for many years the evolution of GenU and the other work of UNICEF, and really just want to pledge our commitment to that continued kind of support of evidence-informed programming and policy making. And then in terms of our role in Basic Package of Support, that's one example of how we've really spent a lot of time listening to young people and what they need and what they're looking for, and to develop this program with support from UNICEF, which we're incredibly grateful for. And I think listening to the young people who were in front earlier and talking about digital connectivity, that they talked about how important that is, but how there's also support needed to help them to connect to digital and to know where to look for resources. And I think that's where we come in as Basic Package of Support, that we serve many of the most disconnected, discouraged young people, work with them in an in-person format to help them to reorient to learning and earning opportunities and improve their well-being. And we would continue that kind of partnership with GenU and with UNICEF going forward. Thanks so much.
Fantastic, and thanks for your pledge.
Good morning, everyone. How you all doing? It's okay. Oh, that was bad. Come on. Good morning, everyone. How you all doing? Okay, we're getting better. My name is Andrew. I'm from an organization called Umuzi. Natty doesn't recognize me without my long hair. Firstly, Kaylee, wow. You are an amazing human being. Unbelievable. Thank you for sharing this stuff. Inspiring, honestly. Just wanted to share a little bit about Umuzi, the organization that we come from, and the work we're doing with Generation Unlimited and one of the founding partners, SAP. It's called Educate to Employ, and the idea is we're taking marginalized youth from across the world. So it started in South Africa, went into Africa, and now across the world, and we are supporting them to get into high-value digital jobs in SAP. One of the things, so that sounds all great, yeah, let's, big ups. One of the things that I think is really important in these moments, I think a number of you who look like me who are a little bit older have been to a number of these kinds of things before. And the one thing that I think is really important is that we have to redefine what we mean by success. Because I think it's so easy to be like, we've got such a big problem in South Africa, 7.2 million unemployed, so we're going to just do a whole bunch of programs and do flyers, and actually the young person at the end of the day is left no better than where they were. So I think redefining what we see as success is really important. I'm really proud of the work that SAP is doing with us, because it's not about the big numbers. You know, it's not about the thousands of people. It's about the 25 people in South Africa that we are categorically going to change their lives with. We're going to walk on a journey with them. And if you think of the success indicators being decrease in unemployment, increase in the tax base, decrease in the dependency rate, and then also an increase in what young people can strive towards by seeing themselves in that person. That's really what success should look like. So my pledge and push to this community here is to say, let's try and redefine what we think success is, so that we are actually activating young people in a way that helps and supports them and enables them, and not just talking through them or about them. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is GenU. I'm from United Nations Population Fund. I'm also pledging with my two hats. One hat is a co-chair with my sister Christine as a youth group in the UN, and also as a head of entity as UNMPA, because youth empowerment is at the core of our mandate. And for the UN system, I think RC is leading the visioning of the next 5 years. So for us as UNMPA, UNICEF, UNDP actually, we're also looking to a 5-year country program. Moving forward, how do we then leverage partnership in strengthen providing opportunities, empower young people moving forward, especially inspired by the young people's vision just now, because we're not just talking about providing opportunity for those young people currently facing challenge today, but we're laying the foundation for the generation to come. We're really investing in human capital that is critical for sustainable development in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your pledge. Could we have the mic to the center? Okay, one here.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Anga Jamela, and I'm from the Thabo Mbeki Foundation. We've worked with Nelson previously. And one of our programs as the foundation is a digital education program that we have with a Spanish partner called Profituro. And we work in schools across Mpumalanga and the Eastern Cape. Currently, we are benefiting 25 schools in each of those 2 provinces. And our intervention really is not only through the provision of digital devices, but also through the capacitating of teachers. Because we go into those spaces, we provide the education, we provide the devices, but we've also discovered that teachers themselves don't know how to teach because they themselves, they're not familiar with the devices. So we're always, open to work with people and, to receive new partners and collaborate so that also we can widen our reach. As a foundation, we not only work in South Africa, but our work is through the continent, where at the core of our mission, it's, the catalyzing of Africa's renaissance, where we believe that if we are going to renew this Africa, we need to ensure that nobody gets left behind. So I wish to invite you to please collaborate with us so that we can reach, we can widen our reach, not just, through the country, but also throughout the continent at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping all your pledges powerful and punchy. If you don't mind, I'm just going to let the lady at the back go, and then you are welcome to go. And I think I saw another hand here. It was that hand. Okay, so I'm just going to...
And you're not looking that side.
As many as.
I'm coming. All right. Can we have you? Can we have you?
Morning,
and then...
ladies and gentlemen. Mahlala is my name, and I'm from Technical Trust. For me, as you've mentioned, for me, it's always great being in an environment like this where we have organizations that are playing their part to address the challenges that the youth are facing. But what I always walk away with is that the question, then what? So it's not a pledge, it's a plea to say, can we have organizations that have got the capability and the capacity to coordinate all of us who are fostering and working towards addressing the sustainable development goals and fighting to empower the youth of South Africa? Can we have some sort of forums where it's coordinated? Because we all seem to be duplicating efforts and running around and fighting for the small crumb that is being offered. So is there a platform on an organization, and we're all prepared to raise our hands and say, let's start it. But we need a forum where we can all sit and collaborate our efforts and see how we can empower and feed off each other and the collaboration. Everybody's always talking about collaborations, but we walk out of here with our bags and we just run. So my plea is, can we have that pledge of saying a central place where a coordination of all our efforts can be managed and coordinated so that we can work with each other? Because we're always doing the same thing and fighting, but we end up scattered. And then another UNICEF or rather Generation Unlimited is formed, and then we meet again, and then it's the same thing. It's been happening. Technogirl has been around for 20 years this year. But I can bet you, the lady is doing exactly what we're doing there. She talked about what she's doing in Mamelodi. The other gentleman talked about what they're doing in Africa Tycoon. So it's just a matter of having a platform or an organization that can coordinate us to see how we can, because the duplication, I'll come to you for the same thing and you say, but they're doing it in Mamelodi. But how do we then together see how we can empower each other to make the efforts more successful? That's my plea.
Hi everyone, I'm Kasturi Soni and I represent Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator, which is a non-profit social enterprise that has spent the last 13 years working in partnership with business, government, civil society, and very importantly, young people themselves to innovate solutions that can tackle the challenge of youth unemployment at a scale large enough to make a difference. Dion, we have a saying too. Ours is that we stay in love with the problem, not our solutions, which means that we iterate our solutions based on what the problem demands of us, keeping young people at the center of everything that we do. We are privileged to be an anchor partner in the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, and to the point around coordinating efforts, our role is to manage and coordinate and support the PYEI, and have actually supported them in enabling the 1.4 million earning opportunities that Seko referenced. Importantly, we also have a tech-enabled platform called SA Youth, which gives young people free access to learning and earning opportunities. We spoke about data cost as a barrier. SAYouth.mobi supports young people through a zero-rated platform. We currently support 4 million work seekers. I had the pleasure of hosting Nadi and her team at Harambee. So commitment is to look at working with GenU alongside the PYEI to the point that was made around coordinating efforts. And there are many partners of ours in the room. Yes, Africa Tikkun, the basic package of support. And so really looking at how do we bring others into that network of networks. What we have done as the manager of the network, and my invitation to you is to join us, we've set a goal of enabling the next 1 million earning opportunities by 2026. So that's our commitment, and I also invite you all, let's be bold, let's be fearless, and let's be determined to succeed together in getting the next 1 million young people earning by 2026. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and gender non-conforming individuals. My name is Zakela Mkobozi. I'm the founder and group managing director of Modern Centric Holdings, a multi-award-winning social development and also transformation firm. I'm just here to pledge. I am prepared to give 200 international qualifications to the youth. Please Google me on the internet. We've got our head office here in Rosebank, and we are prepared to basically say we are pledging 200 international qualifications in data science, cybersecurity, and Internet of Things. Thank you.
Oh.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Karabo Mohole. First and foremost, can we give all the speakers that have spoken this far a round of applause? All right, so we have been asked, what are we going to pledge or pledge? And I've been privileged to be part of the RCRD group. And during my entrepreneurial journey, we understand that entrepreneurs, first and foremost, need access to markets, access to technical skills, and access to investment opportunities. And with the work that we do, we have a flagship program, which is the Startup Business Campus. And what we do is we focus on skill development, taking entrepreneurs through acceleration programs, hackathons, where we understand that their cry is to establish sustainable businesses. And we've done some amazing work with UNICEF last year with Invelisi, focusing on the environmental sector. So that's what we're going to be pledging is assistance in equipping entrepreneurs and alleviating poverty and curating opportunities for employment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we've got time for 3 more pledges. I understand there are some on this side of the room. Okay, so 1, there's 2 hands here. Okay, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Lady in the green, 4.
Okay, good morning. Hi guys, my name is Lucky Mohala. I'm coming from TUT. I'll try to be as short as I can. Mine is not more of a pledge, but it's more of a question because I'm coming from a perspective of an entrepreneur, a young youth entrepreneur. Talking about what the lady has been talking about, that yes, everyone can pledge, but who's going to continue and ensure that the regulation of this takes place, of course. So my point is that I'm coming from, or should I say I'm advocating for climate change, and I want to know how we can also integrate technology in ensuring that we can enhance better waste management in our country, and also how these waste managers could have, how can I put it, penetration into these markets, because we also have market keepers or gatekeepers within this. So that's my question, and furthermore, yes, thank you.
Riante, I think someone needs to answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's happy to take it?
One of us.
I'm happy.
Sure. Could you just give us a sec? Dion would like to respond.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nadi will start and I will add. Yeah.
Please do, Nadi.
Yeah, so we have a program, it's called Be Green Africa. It's really focused on green entrepreneurship with a high focus on waste management. We have just piloted it to see how successful it can be. We're working together with an African foundation, the Tony Alumeli Foundation, based out of Nigeria, works in 54 countries on the African continent. The IKEA Foundation. The idea was to bring together a northern and a southern foundation and then work with governments and private sector on the continent. We're going to complete the pilot by the end of this year. We take the young people through business training, green business training in particular, and the challenges of actually participating in waste management entrepreneurship, because we know there are huge cartels around waste management. You know, and how do you break that down? How do you give young people the opportunity to create small, medium businesses within that context? So we had to pilot that because we had to deal with all those issues. And also some of the, you know, the regulations are not very strong around that area. And how do we help young people to navigate through that? And then give them some seed capital as a grant. Get them mentorship for 2 years, help them to break even, and then expose them to impact investors, etc. So once the pilot is over, we hope to roll it out across more countries. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. That was very nice. I'll be brief because I know Riante is out of time. So from a PwC perspective, globally we have identified climate and sustainability as a key growth area for us as a firm. So what we can offer is world-class thought leadership in this area. If you want to learn what are other parts of the world doing to harness this potential of climate and sustainability, to actually create youth employment as well and solve a very, very important problem in communities. And we all know that climate, whilst the issue is caused predominantly by other parts of the world, the problem is felt the most severely by the African continent, right? Yeah. Which is criminal if you think about it. Correct. So those solutions need to come from here, and we're certainly willing to support with thought leadership and any other type of support in that sense. Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Demosubi. I'm from Activate. So we do capacity building and what else? Advocacy for youth participation at a public policy level. So our commitment from the 16 years of experience in this youth space, and just recently having participated in the youth protocol for SADC, is the realization that there is no absence of imagination at a continental and a global level of what we aspire for. But somehow there seems to be the missteps in the actualization of it. And so the question is why? When all the minds are sitting in the room, you kind of get a sense that there is hope, there is possibilities, there are ways, there are people in community levels, there are people who come from New York, the people who come from all different from all kinds of spaces, and so the future is doable. And so our challenge and our commitment into spaces as this is to make sure that young people no longer think and see frameworks as, they say, is it a bird, is it a plane, is it Superman? No, it's the SDGs. It's GenU. It's the National Youth Policy. And it's things which, as an organization, we've worked tirelessly to make sure that it reaches young people where they're at scale. Not 1, not 3, not 15, because we have millions growing en masse year after year. And so I think it's very vital and important that we prioritize and make sure that those worlds meet. And so the challenge that we take outside of here is how do we make sure that those worlds meet? And that's what Activate commits to. And because I'm a crazy person myself, my other hat is championing for the integration of young people and women in the just transition space. Why not? And what we actually want to do is to partner with the UN, to partner with the Council of Traditional Affairs and actually pilot a program for young women and young people in a space in South Africa so that when we do come back, we can talk about things that we actually see. So the only thing that's defeating us is that young people cannot participate because they don't know where to start and where their space is. And we cannot continue like that because we're going to come back and create 15 other frameworks. We don't need to do that. We're here, we're capable, but we actually need to start piloting things and take a risk. Because a lot of the time we champion things, you say, I must be PwC, I'm not PwC. But I actually want to see a program of technical skills and expertise that creates an allowance for a young person who cannot imagine that as possible for themselves to actually see it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we have our final two for today.
Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are well. My name is Mudema Pantiri. I'm a Research and Policy Officer at the Climate Action Network South Africa. Because we're short on time, I won't necessarily go into too much of what SACAN does, but we are a network of climate action civil society organizations and CBOs across South Africa. And the work that we do is to coordinate civil society for effective climate action. I'm really here in my capacity as the contact point of ELCOI South Africa. ELCOI is held under the framework of YANGO, which is the official children and youth constituency to the UNFCCC. The UNFCCC being the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So we very recently held our ELCOI conference, and I was very happy to hear you say that the focus really is the just transition, because the focus of ELCOI South Africa 2024 was to produce a youth position on the just transition, because we're finding that just like somebody has just said from Activate, there's a lack of space that has been created for youth to really come out as critical stakeholders in South Africa's just transition, which is quite contrary to the population statistics and also just when we look at the facts of who's going to be affected.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, our pledge as the South African Climate Action Network is to continue to amplify the voices of community-based organizations, the people on the ground, the most affected people, but also our pledge as the ELCOI organizing team is to look for collaborators here. I mean, we have a youth position on the Just Transition. We would love to engage with the United Nations South Africa Country Office on this youth position because it's quite significant, and we hope to really engage with policymakers so that we can have a clear understanding that it's not a matter of youth don't know what's happening with the Just Transition. That's not true. We actually are quite aware. We are simply not in these rooms. So I would love for everybody who's interested to please approach me after this. Thank you.
Okay. Morning, everyone. My name is Virginia F. Omari, and I'm not from any organization. I'm just here because I like things, and I've got a friend who knows people. I don't have anything to pledge as of yet. It's really just a question to the people in this room. So, first of all, if you're a Gen Z, can you just put up your hand quickly? Okay, so can you see that we're talking about the youth, but the bulk of us aren't even here? Right, so my question is just to you people on stage. I promise, guys, I'm so polite. I know it's not going to come, but I am polite, okay? So I know that we're all talking about helping the youth and teaching the youth and all of these things, but unfortunately, like as we leave school level, as we go out into the working field, no matter what the area is that we're working in, we have all you older people, respectfully, we have all you older people that we're learning from, but in a lot of these spaces, you guys only want to teach us, but you don't want to let us in at the top level. So when does the point come that younger people stop being the learners and we get to be the teachers? Like, we're not trying to make you guys not have jobs. You know, it's great to learn from people with experience, but I feel like a lot of times you guys only want us there so we can give you our input so you can have like fresh new ideas, but then after it's like, okay, cool, now keep quiet and wait till I tell you to speak. So, yeah, I promise I'm polite. It's just a question for you guys. Like, when do we step in before you guys retire?
a good question. That's why there's GenU.
Well, lady in the green, thank you for your candor. I think I'm actually going to allow Kaylee to just weigh in.
Hi. I love that so much. I'm so here for it. First of all, I don't think you need to say that you are polite. Maybe we don't need to be so polite all the time, right? I think that there's so much possibility in all the rooms that we occupy that we keep as oppressed people. We keep making space for the other people. We keep making space for them to not understand us, for them to have a different experience to us. We keep making room for us to be compassionate, but we're not receiving that in return. Right? I've had many a therapy session about that, so we're here on it. But I also think in a very practical way, right? If we apply that to like a disability scenario, we had a global pandemic, which was fun. I am a high-risk, low-priority person, which is great. I think one thing that was really pointed out to me that really I'm going to try not to turn into a rant right now is that you look at what happened in the pandemic. Everything went online, right? Disabled people as a collective for decades had been asking for remote work. Suddenly, when it becomes a non-disabled problem of the majority, we're like, ooh, we need to figure out remote work. And it became completely acceptable for people to work from home, or to work 2 days in the office, or to leave early because your kids need to go be somewhere. Things became more flexible because the majority of people, or the people with the power, now needed it, and it became a priority. But what happens if we actually just stop listening to that shit? And we're like, apologies, but really. Like, people need to stop taking people who are in oppressed groups and putting us in the room for BEE score points and saying like, oh, we're including people because we care about the future. Cool, bro. But let's actually have some real conversations. And I don't think it's that hard. It's not that hard. It's like, hey, what do you think? And then sit down. And I think that that's really actually, we overcomplicate everything. And we really just need to make space for the people who are living the experience to like live the experience and to actually move forward with that experience, and for that to be valid and justified and appreciated in that, like, it's fine that you're 22 and you have cool ideas. Why, like, you don't have to be 78 with 5 grandchildren to like enter the room.
Yeah.
Just go in. Like, just go in, and if there's no seat for you, just stand or like just sit on the table or like make yourself big. Like, just own the space because who said that it was theirs? That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Kaylee. In essence, take your seat at the table. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing for dissent. And
we're going to have last words.
Sorry.
No, I was going to comment.
Oh, I apologize, Nelson.
Which was to say that it wasn't being impolite. I think it's a very valid point. And to your point as well, which is about creating the space, but also taking the space. But what is most important, we're talking about here, it's about collaborative leadership.
Correct.
It's about established leaders working with emerging leaders, respecting young people and their viewpoints.
Yes.
And I was very intentional when I said it's not about speaking on behalf of.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about listening to young people. It was about letting young people lead and what they can lead in and facilitating that with the knowledge that is important, the resources, access to spaces where they need to be in, and just ensuring that they're having the impact and leading the change we need to see. The challenges we're facing, the existential challenges we're facing on climate, on the just energy transition, on education and food systems, need young people leading that, right? But there's also another aspect which is important, intergenerational collaboration. Because without that, we don't build on the foundations, the knowledge systems and everything, and the experiences and failures that we've experienced.
Correct.
To be able to ensure young people are leading now and future generations also have that ability to keep on sustaining humanity. And I think that's really important. And that's why the Summit of the Future focuses on exactly these points. And it's about youth leadership, but also guaranteeing a future for future generations. And before the end of this month, we're going to be having a consultation. I don't call it a consultation, an imbizo with young people, hosted at NYDA on exactly this sort of thing. So all these groups, please do come back into that conversation to think through and offer your thoughts and take on the leadership that you need to take in that respect. And you can count on the UN. And I look at colleagues who did not pledge, because I do expect them, the question about facilitating collaborations and making sure outside of this space, groups can keep on talking, working together. I'm looking at UNICEF, I'm looking at UNFP, I'm looking at UNESCO. They're all in the room working in that space for us to look at creating something and working with the groups here to ensure that that is sustained. And I'm sure PYC will support us in that regard as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you for summing that up so nicely, Nelson. Okay, ladies and gents, as I said, we are now preparing for dissent, and I couldn't think of a lovelier way to do that than to listen to the tunes of the Imvelesi School Band. Please, take it away, band.
Please stay. I just want to get a group photo while the band plays.
First we have to help. The people forget that.
Okay. Ladies and gents, I would just like to reinforce that the program has not ended. If we can all just focus our time and attention to the band, KT Music, and while they serenade us, we are just going to take some group photos while the panelists are on stage. So please can I ask for the chatter to quieten down? Thank you. Are we ready? We're just going to need some assistance with Katie. Fantastic. Shall we give them another round of applause? Amazing. All right, ladies and gents, as we approach our final destination, we would like to share one last video with you, and I heard the word being mentioned earlier today. This is about amagenge, the evolution, and I think it just speaks to teamwork. So will everyone please take their seats for our last in-flight entertainment item.
Amagenge means to me.
Amagenge.
Amagenge. Amagenge.
Amagenge.
Amagenge.
Amagenge. Rise from the roots, a community of change, we lacing up. Amagenge.
I think that being in a good community and having a strong friendship group.
There's a sense of unity and collective responsibility. People that see me in different stages of my life and still love me and support me, and I also extend the same to them. So it's all love around me and my gang.
Friendship, and I know that in my life, my friends have helped me be the person I am today.
What Amagenge means to me, it means friendship, brotherhood, where we uplift one another, where we encourage one another.
Amagenge are all around us. It's teams, groups, and friendships. It is where you feel an underlying layer of respect, your chosen family, and where you feel your sense of belonging. Where in our cafeteria and all around us is our chosen family.
Like a drum, no fear where we're from, Amagenge. Maybe opportunity will knock on our door, but we ain't waiting for that chance, we'll create and explore. We the truth, we the spark in the dark, in the dark, in the dark. Amagenge.
Thing in the making, but we're here, we're proud, we are, I just want to quote Kaylee, I don't know where she is, and I want to quote her, looking at you, Dion, looking at you, Nelson. How hard can it be, you know? Give us the space, create the space and listen. How hard can it be? We did it today, and I hope the promise is that it will continue to be done. Some people called for coordination. Some people said, you know, where are you? We're here, right? We're here because the young people in the band, the young people in the room, the young people who actually made this day happen, want us to treat them with dignity, with equality, with equity, and with respect. So let's you know, make sure that we do that. Not just today, not just next year for the next International Youth Day, but every day. We're here to support you. We see you, we hear you. We want to create the space. We want to listen, and don't be polite, you know, if what you have to say to us, what you see we do, requires that you do not be polite. Don't be polite with us. Just tell us what we need to do, how we do it. We need to do it differently. So with that, I want to thank you very much, Dion, for hosting us today. Thank you to your amazing team, Matle and Carla. You've been with us. It's been 4 years in the making, and we're here. Thank you for accompanying us, and thank you for the space you offered us today. Chego, we cannot do it without government. Thank you and other government representatives who are in the room today. We're here to support you, but you're the one who will bring it to scale, and you're actually the main actor that young people look at when they say something needs to happen. So we're here to continue to work with you, and thank you for being with us this morning. Kaylee, I don't know if she's no longer with us, but you know, what a wonderful human being. It was so emotional to listen to us, but she is so strong, isn't she? She's just a wonderful human being, and we thank her for all the work that she's doing, the activism. She goes all kinds of places. She was telling us earlier how she had to go from LA to New York, back to LA because somebody had messed up her, flight arrangements. But she continues to be there and making sure that she speaks for those who are otherwise not heard. Thank you, Nadi, for being a South African, for being a friend of the South Africa Country Office, for being our advocate in New York. Thank you for not giving up on us. We were supposed to be the first ones to run when at the time Henrietta Fore said, we need to do things differently. We need to work with young people as an organization, as a UN system. It took us a while, but we did it the South African way, right? I'm sure we're doing it in a way that people will be talking about. Nelson was telling me that we need now to create a buzz. We need to go viral with Amagenge, and that's exactly what we intend to do. And before I come to my colleagues, I wanted to thank my UN friends and sisters who came today. Thank you for listening. For the last 4 years, I've been telling you, please help me, please be with us. We need to get Generation Unlimited, GenU out of UNICEF. It's not about, the children. It's not just about UNICEF. It's not just about an education thing. It's all of us. So thank you, UNFPA, UNAIDS, UNESCO. Thank you, our leader, United Nations Resident Coordinator Nelson Mufu. Ever since he landed in South Africa, he said, we will do it, we will make it happen. And initially, it wasn't happening the way it's supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be just private sector, UNICEF and him. He said, we need to make sure the others are with us. So thank you, Eva, UNAIDS, thank you, UU, UNFPA, thank you, Thulani, UNFPA, thank you, Remy, UNESCO. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, any of my UN colleagues who believed in what we're trying to do and are with us today. I cannot, end without saying what an amazing team of colleagues I have in the South Africa Country Office. We've worked on this in many ways. It was about education, Andile. It was about partnerships, Mandisa. And then we said maybe it's about, monitoring and evaluating what we do across the board. And Ilona was there. And then we said, no, it's about innovations. And, Ben, got into the picture. But those who really got us here, made it happen, is what we call Young UNICEF, and I'd like them to stand up and be recognized. Amagenge comes from Titsetso. Amagenge comes from Duncan. Amagenge comes from, where are the other young people? Young UNICEF in the room. Nduvo, please stand up. You're one of our young UNICEF. And so thank you so much for making it happen and, shepherding these young people were Sudesh and Ben, of course. Ben, as some of you know, is leaving us soon, but he remains with UNICEF, he remains with Yoma, he remains with the Young People's Agenda. So thank you all very much, and thank you, Irfan, for joining the bandwagon. Muriel was here, most of the time. She's been the counterpart of our colleagues at PwC, but we're happy, to have you to take the flame, ahead and continue to make us, and young people particularly, shine and let them be heard, let them feel dignified, let them feel respected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christine. Well, ladies and gents, evidently a lot is being done to support our country's young people. But evidently, there is room for a lot more to be done, and that requires all of our input. I guess it's up to us to continue advocating for, creating pathways for, and building sustained frameworks for those in the most marginalized communities. It's only fitting to now land this plane with the words of the late, great Nelson Mandela. He once said, "The future belongs to our youth." As some of us near the end of our political careers, or any other careers, any other big tables we sit at, younger people must take over. They must seek and cherish the most basic condition for peace, namely our unity in diversity, and find lasting ways to that goal. And it's up to all of us to ensure that we help to create those lasting ways and sustained solutions. So thank you, everyone, for flying aboard flight GenU SA this morning. Please have a safe onward journey, and may you forever continue being change makers.